Hi, I'm Christy Conway with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I'm here in this fantastic Rutledge Avenue home downtown with homeowner Mary Lardy. And we've got Nancy here, McCrae from Advanced Window Fashions. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Happy to have you.
Great. Yes, it's great to be here. You know, this home, we don't get to see many downtown homes, unfortunately, but this home is truly fantastic because it kind of combines the historical aspect and also it has a modern twist. Can you talk to me a little bit about your inspiration?
Well, we're right off our renovations. You're here. We just finished about a week ago, and everybody finished on time, so we're really happy about that. But the essence of what we wanted to do, having lived in a lot of different places, was to take everything we've learned from homes. And the one we moved from Venice, California, and everything is contemporary, clean, modern. So we wanted to keep the historical essence of the shell. Then inside, contemporary is about clean, and there's items in the room that accent and there's energy to it. So we took that as you toured through the home to keep it very today, but yet you're in the shell of history. And everybody just gets so excited when you start telling them how old the home is and you look at how we've modernized it. So it's a great mix of old in every room.
And how do the window treatments kind of play a role in that?
Well, we moved first in the house. Nancy came over and we had maybe 5 window coverings. I'm probably exaggerating, on the entire house. And we went through every room and discussed, what do we want the sunlight to be? How does the sun comes in? What's the feel of this room going to be? Do we want it formal? Do we want it to be classic or contemporary? So we really had a discussion in every room, how often it was going to be used, who was going to be in that room. And then, having done so many homes before, Nancy and I just probably moved quicker than most do, because I probably had almost every kind of window treatment you can have. And Nancy was great to work with because you can see the elegance that we brought to each room by picking it. And we kind of had a blank slate. And as we took you through, I can't believe I wouldn't, even with a complete renovation of the house, I wouldn't change a window fixturing.
It's fantastic. What kind of window treatments are they, just so I know?
Well, the majority of it is the silhouette, which is what we have here
behind us
in this room. And it's throughout the downstairs, which gives the elegance, but also the light control, your privacy. You can have it all the way up. It's just a nice, clean, it goes with that clean line look with the contemporary too. And also fits in with traditional, also with the home.
And the one thing we wanted to do with the windows was that it wasn't overwhelming the room. You can walk into some homes, a little more classic home where you've got heavy drapery, or everyone's looking at the windows. Windows to me should be rich and luxe, but understated, because the energy should be around your artwork. It might be a unique piece of furniture. It might be a color. So the window fixturings, you want them to be rich, and that's hence the silhouettes, which I think is a great choice to have that sheer and still the panel and everything Nancy said, but yet it's still understated.
Right, because in Meredith's home, the windows are not your focal point. So we're not taking away from her artwork or the furniture or the lighting fixtures, that she's added here. So it's not taking away, from the rooms.
And it's letting in so much light. And I know that you had discussed that when we first walked in, how much you wanted brightness in every room, right?
When we bought the house, it was very dark. The colors were not our style. And I'm an energy person. I like when you walk in and everybody smiles, the light's coming in. And yet I still want the privacy. We're in downtown Charleston. I think everybody knows we're in close quarters.
Right.
So this allowed us to feel that natural sunlight coming in, but yet we could come and get a cup of coffee and everybody doesn't know it's coffee time in the neighborhood, which is a real plus for us.
And what about upstairs? What kind of treatments did you both choose up there?
The front of the house, there was the heat and the sun issue there, so we did do the Duet, the Architella, which has the inner sail to give the energy efficiency, but also definitely to cut down on the heat,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in those rooms. And we did the room darkening, which helps also. And then when guests are here, they have the room darkening, but yet, I don't know, that warm feeling in the room too, being, you know, in there with the duets. Then we also did the vignettes, which is another, you know, shade that we did in the back of the house for it's your Roman, you know, look that goes with the nice clean lines, you know, with the furniture, because the hobble Roman is just, it was a crisp.
It
This is a
almost
good
looks
word.
like a, this is going to sound so odd, like a beautiful white comforter kind of hanging.
And actually, if you look at our
I know, that's
comforter,
so
to your
odd.
point, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's
Good eye.
It's almost like silky or something. It's
And what we also wanted to do was, the house can get really busy, so the whole lower level is contiguous of the same style, and then the guests are the same, the bathroom are the same, and then we kept the upstairs ensuite of our closet, bedroom, bathroom, all the same. So you create, like you said, that same subtle softness from room to room, and it isn't like every room's throwing something at you.
Right.
And we want it to be light and bright and calm. And you can, by infusing too many different styles and materials, and that you're like, it loses the elegance that we were
Right.
looking for.
yeah. So, how did you approach the house together? How did your partnership kind of develop?
Well, as I say, when Nancy came in, she's still giggling. There was literally no window coverings, and the windows are, the home is from 1896, and the windows are in, I would say, varying condition. The good news is 100% of them work, but many of them are original. You can see the swell and the glass and the glaze and everything, and they're not very pretty. So, you know, essentially we talked about what we did, which was, what do we want to achieve by room? And then, you know, looked at what we wanted to do. And then Nancy had all the samples and put things up and challenged each other on the color. And what, you know, it was a challenge because what the palette of the house was and what the palette went to, I knew we were going to go from an off-white trim to a white. So, you know, Nancy and I had to step out of what is today and what's tomorrow going to be, because I knew we were going to go white, and I don't like the off-white white combination. I wanted windows to be white and crisp like we
Right.
had. But when we were doing it, we had to step out of that box of imagination of, no, where are we in October? Where are we going to be in May? So that's why I think us working together on where we were going, as I said, now that we've done a full extensive renovation, we don't want to change anything because we were thinking forward, which I don't think Nancy probably gets too many of those projects. It's usually like, what do we have today and what are we going to close? But we knew we weren't staying where we were,
Right.
palette-wise.
Oh, right.
Now, did you visit the house initially, or did you go to her showroom? How does that normally work?
Well, I came to the house in this, you know, particular situation because it worked out, because Meredith already had an idea. She's already had other window treatments. And just talking with her, even over the phone, I had an idea of what to bring and what would work.
Right.
I knew shutters was not even
Right.
to bring up in this for the house for one, and I knew it would cut out the light, and we didn't want that. We wanted to keep the light and bring it in. So going with the silhouette was one of the ways of working with that.
Do you suggest other people in your in Mary's situation to approach you to come to their house or to come to the showroom? How do you suggest the best way?
Every situation's different with every customer. I've had customers where they just had one last week where, or about a month ago, they thought, oh, we don't need to come by the showroom. We know what we want. And when they were back in town, they came into the showroom Tuesday, and she was so glad to come in because she saw the difference in the heading. She's like, in the book, she's like, oh, I don't like that. But once she saw it in the display, she's like, I like that.
Okay.
So it helps in different situations to have them to come into the showroom and see displays and see how they work and how that cassette is, or, you know, even the colors. It helps. And then I still go out. I've done it where I go out, have them come into the showroom or come into the showroom and then go to their house. So it just depends.
And where's the Advanced Window Fashions showroom?
Well, we're located at 502 Wando Park Boulevard,
Okay.
Unit 105 in Mount Pleasant, and it's right off of Long Point and 526.
Okay. And do you have a website people can kind of learn from afar?
We do. It's 843beautifulwindows.com.
Okay. And 843 being the area code, right?
Correct.
Okay. And what's your phone number?
It is 843-881-8858.
Great. All right. Do you have anything to add about working with Advanced Window Fashions?
No, Nancy was awesome. She followed through, and everything, these homes, as we were talking, they're not even. No measurement is easy, and Nancy, of I think our 35 plus windows, there was not one window that was mismeasured. Not one window treatment had to be returned. Everything was delivered on time. She was here constantly during the installation. One day, one did fall out, and I sent her a picture. You know, she came over, I don't know if it was in 2 hours or 3 hours, got back up on the ladder. So I've never even looked at what the guarantees are on them, because I know with Nancy there, she takes extensive pride in what she does. And if anything goes wrong, or I have to replace something for whatever reason, I never feel that she's other than an email away, and she usually replies right away. So if anyone is looking for window treatments, I would highly recommend Nancy, because she's going to be there from the start to the finish. And as long as that window treatment's in your house, she's going to be there.
Well, if that isn't a testimonial, I don't know what it is.
And I do my best to, be there.
Okay.
And texting works too.
Great. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. This was actually illuminating. I didn't even know these existed. The ones upstairs were my favorite, I have to say. Well, we've been speaking with Nancy McRae of Advanced Window Fashions in this Rutledge home downtown. Thank you so much.
Thank you.